Today I'm meeting with Carrie, who is a trainer for a local health plan here in Michigan. And today I would like to discuss her experiences with designing and delivering training to the adult population. So Carrie, what exactly is your role and what are you responsible for?
So I am a departmental trainer here at the health plan, and I am responsible for the care coordination department. So the care coordination department has a series of different programs within the department, and we implement trainings. We work with the care coordination leadership and management to help create and design the onboarding training for when we hire new external employees, and then also with maintaining the current staff that we have. So we do refresher trainings if necessary, required trainings, just that are contractual, and things like that.
Okay. All right. So what would you say are some learning interventions that you have made? Like what was successful and what do you think and how it worked? Did it work well or?
Yeah, so when I've been with training now for about a year, and so as you continue to work within the training department, you sometimes recognize that you need to maybe step up like how you are presenting your training. So maybe one style worked with one group, and then you realize that that same style maybe doesn't work with another programmer, different type of learner. So it's really important to kind of use those interventions, skills, or think outside of the box. And so we really try to go with the more hands-on and the do process. So we really want learners to come into our trainings and actually get hands-on with specific topics, trainings for like policy and things like that, so that they really feel confident in the material that they're learning. So when they do go back on the floor and they're doing their daily tasks, they know and feel confident that they can do it.
So would you say in some of your trainings you switch it up a little bit, maybe lecture a little and then actually have them do hands-on things?
Yeah, so we don't want it to just all be lecture. We want them to get the material presented to them. So as a trainer, we'll go ahead and present the material, but then maybe halfway through the training we'll stop, we'll do an activity, some type of do activity, and then get back into a lecture a little bit. Might have some visuals. We might pull up the program that we use on a daily basis, so just to keep them stimulated and learning.
Oh, perfect. Next question I have for you is, what has been the most difficult training situation that you've had to deal with, and what did you do, especially like working with adult learners?
Yeah, so sometimes there's different types of learners out there, and you don't always see them. The more you keep training, the more you'll come about those situations. So I've dealt with learners that have fallen asleep during class. I've dealt with some that kind of have a poor attitude with the arms crossed, but recently, I think 2 or 3 months ago, I had a learner that was giving me a lot of pushback, and that was a pretty difficult situation.
So what has been the most difficult training situation that you have had to deal with, and what did you do?
So there are different types of learners out there. You don't always come across or experience each type. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn, they might give you pushback, they might be uninterested in being there, or they might be falling asleep. I've dealt with several different types, and but the most difficult situation I've had to deal with is somebody giving me pushback. So that was something that happened probably 2 or 3 months ago, and it did kind of throw me off. And it's difficult because you're in the groove of your training, and you have to really just try your best to not let it affect you and maintain positivity and continue forward. And the best thing that I did, the best thing I could say in that situation that I did was just try to remain calm, positive, and let them know that I can follow up with you after this class and talk with management to get the answers to your questions. And that way you can move forward so that the others in the class aren't distracted.
Training the adult population. There's so many different age range for adults. So do you find it difficult or a comparison to train the younger new millenniums versus the older population of adult learners?
Yeah, so definitely I think that age does make a difference. So for those who have been here, and not even just more so their age, but for individuals who have been with this company for quite some time, sometimes they can be a little bit stubborn and reluctant to change and not want to deal with the new process changes. So that can be a little difficult at times, but you just, again, try to maintain positivity and make the classroom a fun environment and let them know, the why behind it and how exciting it can be. And then sometimes with the newer generation, the populations that are new to the company, but especially maybe those millennials out there, they're on their phone a lot, they might be uninterested, they might be a little bit more not hesitant. They might want to interrupt you more or give their opinion, maybe give pushback. So definitely you do see that with the different age ranges.
Okay, great. So how have you gone about identifying employee training needs in the organization?
So we really work, as a departmental trainer, we work closely with management of that department. They make all of those process changes and decisions, and we're here on the back end to make the training decisions. So we're the subject matter experts as far as training goes and how we want to, structure the training and run the training and what activities to include and materials that we're going to provide. But it's care coordination leadership that will make those process decisions. They'll give us the information or material that needs to go within specific job aids or handouts or PowerPoints, and then we just kind of take it from there and make it training ready.
Great. So what are some of the on-the-job training activities that you facilitate?
So throughout different trainings?
Yeah, what are some of the switch-ups? What are some of the exciting things that you actually do? What are those activities?
Yeah, so we have a system called MCS here that we utilize, and most member-facing departments utilize it, and then there's also claims and utilization management, all these different other departments that are in the system, just different screens. So we might actually jump into that system throughout the training. So we might learn a specific process and then we'll stop and we'll jump into the computers, get into the system, which we do actually have a UAT, it's called, system, which is kind of like the fake system that you're able to go in, play around in, and change things in without affecting the actual live program for our members. So that's kind of one thing that we'll do. We'll actually have them get into the system to play around. Other things that we've done might be fun matching games. So we might make actual activities, let's say we're learning about different types of diseases. We might have hepatitis, for example, type 1, type 2, type 3. We'll learn about, I'm thinking of diabetes. So diabetes, type 1, type 2, gestational, let's say. So we might have some characteristics of those, each of those types, and we've learned about them via lecture. We're going to stop, and as a group, they'll have to match those different characteristics. So different activities like that, just so that they're not sitting and listening the whole entire time.
Now, do they participate in any shadowing? So actually seeing it in real life, some of the things that they're learning?
Yeah, so not only do they attend classroom training, they do have allotted time that will be specific to buddy shadowing. So they'll be assigned somebody within their department and the program that they're in that leadership has identified as somebody who's doing a really great job currently in their position, and they'll sit with them. They will have trainer cords so that they can hear what their buddy's doing, they can hear the member on the phone, and then they can also get hands-on, kind of start navigating while their buddy talks, and then eventually they're doing everything with their buddy behind them.
Oh, perfect. So what do you consider the key criteria for training to just be effective?
Definitely switch-ups are really important. I know we're talking a lot about that, but just Just having a PowerPoint or like a job aid to read from is not effective at all. Some people do really like reading, but there are those that are more visual learners, and that's super important to maybe have different visuals on your PowerPoint and maybe screenshots of particular sections within the program that we work in, so that they can visually see what's going on. And then again, jumping into the system themselves and then actually doing it. Very important, I think, at least in my opinion as a trainer.
Okay, and just one last question. How do you keep current with the latest developments and ideas for training? So do you attend any like seminars or workshops, or how do you stay current?
Yeah, so there are actually, we're really fortunate because we do have different seminars that are actually outside of the company that we have connections with that we can attend. I have not had the privilege to do that yet, but I am definitely interested in attending those seminars. However, internally we meet actually bi-weekly with our department. We'll do fun activities, and we also have our collab sessions that we do with our team, department specific. And again, we'll do fun activities that somebody will lead and they'll relate back to how we can become better trainers. So there was one activity we did with like assumption making. It's really difficult sometimes as trainers, you make assumptions, or you might hear feedback from another trainer about this specific learner, and you create assumptions based off of that instead of coming in with a fresh mind and making your own, judgment based off of your experience with them. So we'll do things like that. We also do like timing activities so that we're staying on time with our material, the materials we're presenting, because time is very crucial, making sure that we're not going over on our time. And then different things like public speaking we have here. We also have like we've done this pachachka or pechakucha sometimes is what people call that, where it's 20 slides and each slide is 20 seconds and you have to come up with like a general theme. So just keeping up to date on our presentation skills, our public speaking skills. Captivate is another program we use, so we try to get refreshers on that as well. So it's really cool, the things that we have for us trainers here.
Yeah, so I think it's like really important because a lot of people don't realize in the trainer world that you as the trainer are also the learner, and unless you can learn that material, you're unable to deliver it,
Yeah.
So as trainers, you're always learning as well, and that's the best way to like give those different techniques that you're learning at those workshops and those seminars to be able to work with different, type of people, different classes of people, different ages of people, especially like in an adult population. So I think that's really important, but thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you.